Hello, my crafty loving friends. Welcome to Repurpose My Way. I'm Shelly. Today I have some beautiful Zazzle papers to show you. They're decoupage papers and they're gorgeous. So we're going to start right away. This one is the first one. Look at this paper. I love the sheep. Love the sheep. They're so stinking cute. I'll have links down in the description for all of these papers. It'll take you right to my little shop there on Zazzle, and you can shop around. They have so many great papers. Here's another one. Bees and sunflowers, two of my favorite things. Look at that. Beautiful. Everything. Sheep are my favorite too. I have many favorites. Okay. And here's another one. This one I love because it's like stained glass. It's gorgeous. Look at this one. Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love that. Okay, and this is last but not least, another favorite, crows with flowers. And I love the writing on the side over here. Look at that paper. Gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? We're going to use them on a few projects today. Now I have one project that I brought back from one of my booths that didn't really do well. It's really not my style. Nothing against it. I like the color of it. I liked how it came out, but it just really wasn't the style in my booth. And I think the people that shop my booth just, I don't know, it just didn't appeal to them. Maybe they just didn't like the colors. Who knows? So we're going to go ahead and find some of these papers that are going to fit in some of my projects that I brought home from my booth. And we're going to zhuzh them up and make them look just absolutely beautiful with these papers. Every single one of these I love. So I'm going to have a hard time trying to figure out which one I want. Now, when you order from Zazzle, you get 3 papers at a time. So when I order my sheet paper, the least you'll get is 3. You can order 3, 6, 9. I don't know. I think it comes in threes. I'm not really sure. But yeah. So I have 3 of everything. So I have plenty of things that I can do to use in projects. So we're going to just get started because I have so many things that I want to do today with these. I did a makeover on 2 of these projects, and both of them were mirrors before and they were cracked in the corner. So I thought that I would cover them with some paper from Dollar Tree. And they did not sell, neither one of them. So I brought them home and I'm going to paint them both black all over, and then we're going to give them a really cool primitive makeover. The color I'm covering up on here is Burlap from Dixie Belle, and I really like this color, but it just didn't go well in my booth, I guess, and people just weren't interested in how I had this decorated. All right, so this is all dry, all painted. I painted the inside as well, removed the paper, painted it. Now I'm going to just take my sander and sand around it and bring back some of the paint, make it look distressed. The paint underneath is that gray paint. So we're just going to do a little bit of a light sand. And then I'll go in and seal the whole thing before I add some decoupage paper in the middle. I'm going to do all these little pieces here as well, just to give it a distressed, aged look. I like it. If it's something that you don't like and you're doing a project similar or whatever, you can just skip this part and just leave it all the way black. No big deal. Now to seal this in and give it some more age, I'm going to go in with my antique wax. This is Craft Smart antique wax. I use Waverly, but I'm all out. And I had some of this left over, so I'm going to use this up. Same basic idea. It's a very liquidy wax. And I brush it on. It goes down in those grooves that I want it to go into. the cracks and crevices. It's going to richen up this black paint, which is what I want it to do. And then also the parts where there's a lighter color where I sanded it to give it a distressed look, it's going to darken that up as well and give it some age, give it that kind of brown yellowish age. In this case, I guess brown, because it is brown. And it just gives it that older aged look, which is what I like. So I'll just go over this whole thing and then I'll wipe it back. All right, I got it all covered. Now let's wipe it back. I let it dry just a little bit. So it's a little bit tacky on there. There, and as you can see, it's down in the cracks and crevices and like in under here as well. So it really gives it a nice aged look. So I had one of my viewers say that she would put antique wax on a bagel, which I thought was really funny because I understand what she's saying. I hear her. I would do the same. Don't put it on a bagel and eat it. That's not what I'm saying. But I thought that was just really funny that she would say that. I think antique wax is like my secret sauce that I have for my projects, and I really love the look that it gives. So, and I say that I think every time I use it, but I really do. So I flipped my piece over so that I could use the back side to find the right size for my decoupage paper. So the first one I'm going to do is this one with the crows on it, and I'm just going to trim it. I just kind of creased it where I want to cut it. And then I'll cut it even a little bit smaller so that it will fit inside nice and neatly. So now I'm just going to take some light paint and go over the bottom. I want to enhance the colors and keep them from kind of falling into the black paint and not being able to see the design very well. So I like to put a little light color. It doesn't have to be white, but I want to have a light color in there so that it'll make that paper pop. Then I'm just going to let it dry, and then I'll add my paper with Mod Podge once it's done. Now that my paint's dry, I'm going to go in with a layer of Mod Podge over the top of the white paint. Try to get a nice even coat and get it all the way up to the edges so that it will hold those edges down. So the crow one came out really good. This bumblebee one didn't come out as good. I had some dry paint, some wet paint around the edges that I got on the paper, which is not good. I got a rip down here, and it's very wrinkly and bumpy. So, and I don't think that's going to come out. But we're going to add some antique wax and try and darken up some of that paint that's got on the paper. And we're going to just say that this was a happy little accident, hopefully. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing. and give it a coat. This does have a coat of Mod Podge over the top of the paper, so it is sealed in. And we're just going to put this on and hope we can darken up some of that paint and make it look intentional. I'm just going to go in with Mod Podge and seal the top. And I'm just going to add the antique wax to my crows. And I did go around the outside edges with a little bit of black paint, so I'm going to just go over it with my antique wax so it all blends in. There we go. And that's just going to dry. Just picked up this fantastic box and I absolutely love the color. I love the crackle finish on it. I love the chippy finish on it. I love everything about it, and it's all the way around. It's brown on the bottom. Somebody put those little things, which, hey, works just fine. This looks old. I don't know if it is, but this looks old. The hinges look old, not ancient, but they look old. It's all done with little round nails. So what a really cool box. The painting is all done for me. So then this gives me a blank canvas to figure out what I want to put on it. Well, I have this screen stencil that my friend Tracy and her husband Danny made for me a long time ago, and it lost the sticky on it, and it's been used and abused, and I've used it a lot. But I think what I want to do is put it on the front of my box here, kind of just the old Crooked River Seed Company, and then maybe just my crows. And I want to get it so it's kind of like centered there. It won't really fit the whole thing, the quality seeds since 1883. Actually, it may. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So I don't want to try and fit everything in there, but I do want the old Crooked River on there, and the Seed Company, and the two crows. So I'm going to just try to get it centered and level the right way, and then I'll tape it down, and hopefully I don't mess this up because I'll have to repaint this box if I do. Okay, I'm going to take some black paint, and I'm just going to start stippling this on. And then I'm going to brush it, because you have to work it down through that screen. Now we're going to take a peek. I'm going to remove some of this tape and just do one end. See what it looks like. See if it's a mess. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, that looks so cool. As you can see, the river didn't come out very good, but maybe his tail a little bit, but not too bad. I'm going to have to redo the river, which is fine, but what I want to do is let this dry first so that I don't smudge it or anything like that. So we're just going to let it dry. I'll probably use my heat gun a little bit, and we'll see if we can work on that river part. Let's see if that came out a little bit better. Yes, it did. Okay. And I did the tail down here a little bit. Awesome. Okay. Now I had the old Crooked River stencil made up a long time ago because we live near the Crooked River. It's in our town and it goes through several towns actually. And I just thought it was a really cool name and it sounds old and just kind of a vintage type thing. So that's why I came up with that. One of these days I'm going to actually have an actual stencil made out of it so that I can share it with you guys, and then we all can have the old Crooked River Seed Company with the crows on it. So one of these days I got to get that done. Now some of this landed right where the paint is peeling off. That's fine. I want this to look old and just as old as the box looks. So I'm just going to go in with my sandpaper, just a light sand to start with. Let's see what we come up with. Get it to look like the rest of the box a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. I love that look. Now I don't want to change the color on my box at all. It's already just the right perfect hue, the right aged look for me. So I'm going to use my matte clear sealer and seal the top of this. I'm going to do one coat, let it dry fully, and then I'll do a second coat to make sure that it's fully clear coated and sealed in. And then this piece will be done. Super simple and easy. Dug this tote out of my stash, got it at Goodwill for a few dollars, and it is in great shape. It just needs a little sanding around the edges and like here, and just kind of clean up here some of that, you know, the wispies on there and stuff, and maybe a little bit there. But it's good that it has a little bit of distressing to it. I kind of like it. First thing I'm going to do is paint the inside black. I'm going to paint the inside black. The outside's going to be stained, but I want to have it kind of two-toned. I want to bring some of the black out in that paper. So I'm going to do the inside. just one coat for now until it dries, and then I'll see what it looks like. I may have to do a second coat. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Should tape off my handle. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Okay, so I'm going to use my water pen along the edge here. I want as much of this picture as I possibly can get. I'm just going to go along the edge. Putting this water on will help me tear it so that it doesn't look like I tore it. I just want to have it be like a random tear. And just on the edge. I'm going to do both ends. And I'm just going to sand off the edges to make them smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and antique wax before I add my Mod Podge over the top of the picture, because I don't want the Mod Podge to act as a resist. So I'm just going to go over the edge here a little bit. It all blends in. And then once that's all dry, I will go back in with my Mod Podge and seal the little sheep picture in. Okay, the other side of my tote, I have painted black 2 coats, and now it's all dry. So now I'm going to go in with my sander and we're going to distress it. Of course, we want to seal it in, richen up this black paint, and brown up the edges of the raw wood. So I'm just going to do a coat on this whole thing. And then I'll come back and wipe it back. And then this will be just a simple side on the tote. So if somebody doesn't want the sheep only certain times of the year, or they want to change it up, they can flip it around. Gives it nice. I like how that looks. Okay, we're just going to let that dry, and then this will be done. I hope you enjoyed my projects today. Let me know down in the comments if you had a favorite and which one it was. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out this next video on your screen if you want to see more Repurposed My Way.